Officially, Red Bull have released their car. We've seen the livery already, we've seen the car already, but there are little differences on the car. The car that they released looks like a podless car. Some people are saying it's podless, but it looks like a podless car, but it's not podless. It has pods. On the one we saw 2-3 days ago, it looks like podless, but it has something like the Mercedes 2022 pods. And is it that Red Bull are teasing us, or they are mocking Mercedes, or they are trying something new? Now they released their car today and it looks podless, but underneath the upper lip, in which the pods flush towards the nose of the car, there is a secret pod underneath that looks like the Mercedes pod lips, but it is chamfered inside. It is drawn inside, while the Mercedes one is drawn outside. The upper part is outside, flushing towards the nose of the car. So that car has pods, but it is chamfered down, beautiful lips to suck a lot of air. Now, this downwashing that we've spoken about is on it. But my own fear is, I think Red Bull in Bahrain might come up with something different than what we are seeing here already, or in their opening race. But I think in Bahrain, because if they come up with something different in Bahrain and come up with something different in their opening race, it will be a disaster for them, because they won't have much time to learn. So I think they'll come up with something different in Bahrain. So also McLaren, they might come up with something different in Bahrain. But this Red Bull is turning. They've always had one of the beautiful black livery design, because it's almost like Red Bull. That's why they save majorly their weight on paint. Red Bull saves on paint because they majorly come out in black. Now, with this beautiful car coming out, is a pull rod suspension, but unlike Mercedes, the wishbone of the upper arms are flushing to the nose and they are curved just like the Mercedes. The upper and the lower arm looks just like the Mercedes, but this one comes with pull rod, while Mercedes comes with push rod in the front. The nose and the front wings of the car has been totally redesigned. The rear of the car is totally redesigned. Then the side pods, going back to the side of the car, totally redesigned with a big curtain underneath the side pod, and the floor is protruding up at an angle of about 43 degrees to carry the downforce of the car heavily. And that downwashing, very smooth. But the Mercedes, the downwashing is more improved than the Red Bull, Ferrari and McLaren. Also, going to the rear of the car, which I didn't see much of the rear of the car to know if they're using pull or push rod at the rear of the car, but they've redesigned some part of the suspension of the car at the rear. And also the beam wing and the rear wings have been totally redesigned. They still maintain their driver lineup of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez's contract to be ending this season. Will Sergio Perez finish his contract with Red Bull? I can't say for now, but will he or will he not? We don't know. Let's see what happens with his contract with Red Bull, if they are going to renew. But I'm sure they are not going to renew, because the movement of Lewis Hamilton will shake up the grid 100%. So everybody will be protecting their investment. Red Bull are looking at signing Albon. I said in the video that Red Bull will jump on Albon. They're looking at signing Albon for 2026, but we don't know if that will work yet. But let's see what Red Bull will do this season, stroke next season. But that car will be a heavy championship debate. Will the Red Bull RB20 be able to challenge the Mercedes that have taken a risk, going totally all new, or Ferrari or the McLaren? We are yet to know. Bahrain will give us a lot of cars still hiding their potentials, but in the first race in Bahrain, we would know what will come down and how the season will be. But I still hope McLaren are going to bring a lot of updates. Red Bull are going to bring a lot of updates this season. Not just that the whole bunch of teams are closing up on them, but because they know it is a competition that will be relished, and to be relished to the end. A lot of teams are going to give their all. It might be a 5-horse-way championship or a 4-horse-way championship, but it's going to be an interesting championship this season. It won't be a runaway championship like we had in 2022 and 2023. It will be a very tight and interesting championship this season. I can't wait to start this championship season, and it's going to be lit. Also, on the Red Bull launch today, we have Christian Horner, and he tried to play down all the allegations and what is being said on media, that himself and the group are in fine-tuned, everything is fine, there's no problem. Max Verstappen has been also linked with Christian Horner's issue, but at first they didn't allow Sky Sports News to ask him, but later he was allowed to ask, but everything was played down, that everything is okay, but the investigation is still going on. We don't know when it will end. But for me, like I said, I would not like Chris Horner to leave Red Bull, because he brings a great joy to the competition, although he has his bad attitudes, but it makes it very interesting. So also, it is sad seeing Gunther Steiner leave F1. It's very sad, and I hope there's a way we'll come back, and because he's a very interesting person. He brings fun, he brings joke to F1, but it's good to see Christian Horner today, and his relationship with Red Bull still continues, and we hope for the best for him through the process that they are going through. I hope all will. Yeah, thank you. We'll give you another video tomorrow to analyze how the cars are and how or where they are going this season and what to expect this season. The Red Bull launch is here, the livery is here, it's beautiful, but let's see how they perform. Thank you guys, love you guys, bye. Cheers.